How is that for precision timing? Like, oh my goodness. Hey, you guys. Well, it's Monday. It's 5 o'clock here on the West Coast. So a lot of you guys are probably maybe in the thick of dinner, maybe enjoying a cocktail on the back deck and the nice weather. I don't know. Whatever your jam is, whatever you're doing, I hope it's a lovely Monday. And I really want to know what you guys thought of yesterday. I know it's just kind of a preamble. Like, I really was like trying to warm you up and give you the not warm and fuzzies, but just give you the vibe as to what I make of coaching. And Sarah and I have been dropping stories throughout the day just to kind of give you an idea of the behind the scenes and a little bit about what coaching's done for us or what it's been a tool for to accomplish. So because I tend to deviate a lot, I have notes because literally what I want to accomplish, you guys, is I want to talk about exactly what we do. Because you might be like, great, it sounds fancy to be a coach, but like, even what the hell do you do? So that's what I want to break down. So here's a couple things what you can expect. I'm going to tell you what I did as a brand new coach when I started 11 years ago versus my business activities now, 11 years later, and a full-time business. So they're very different because my business has changed. And the activities were different. Right? So I'm going to tell you exactly what I was doing and the time commitment I gave as a brand new coach versus what I do now. Okay. I'm going to tell you exactly what I do within my business hours. So think of it as kind of time management and how I structure my day to build my business. Because as I said yesterday, you guys, I've got 4 kids. Right now it's the summertime, so it's kind of a shit show with scheduling. And so I really have a little bit more flexibility. My kids are really understanding that, hey, you know what, mommy's going to take an hour to study, or I'm going to get back to a couple people because they're all sunned out and they just want to veg, which they're all just vegging right now. So it works out. I could pop on here. Usually I don't get on and do evening stuff because of my kids' commitments, but that comes fall, and that's kind of when, we're in off season right now. We don't have select baseball. We don't have golf commitments, the whole dog and pony show. But I'm going to tell you also what I do not do. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions on what you guys think we do as coaches. And I'm going to show you sorry about that. I'm going to show you my actual list that I work from that keeps me on track in building my business and is exactly the tool that has helped me propel my business and keep it growing within a 6-figure income. Now, I talk about money, okay, which a lot of people are like, ew, yuck, money. But hello, I have bills to pay. I got 4 kids and they do go to a Catholic school, so it does add up, right? But not everybody builds a business to build or uses that as a lead into their business. And I certainly don't lead with the money because it didn't start out as a thing for me to make money. I shared my story yesterday, so I won't regurgitate it. Go back and watch the video, which I'll be popping into our IGTV channel, because I want to get into the nuts and bolts about the actual activities that I do day in and day out as a coach, okay? So what did I do when I was a brand new coach? I did not know what the hell I was doing. Honestly, you guys, I researched everything about network marketing, how to build a business. And you guys, 2008 was a very different way of building a business than it is today. So it's kind of irrelevant, the activities I did then, but I want to talk about, more importantly, the time commitment. I was a mom of 2 kids under 2, and they were both one was in diapers, obviously, and I was potty training my older one, and I was nursing my youngest. So you can imagine, right? And still trying to figure out this whole new stay-at-home mom thing. I had not ever been accustomed to it before, aside from maternity leave with my first. So it wasn't really like a thing I had a handle on. But what I did know is that I had very small pockets of time that I could fit in coaching activities. Maybe when I was nursing, maybe when they were napping, because I was able to actually fortunately get them to nap at the same time. It was pretty money. So that's when I built my business. A lot of the time is when my kids were napping, and when they weren't, then I was up early, right? Like, you know what? I'm an early riser now. I don't love it, but I was an early riser knowing that that was the only way I was going to be able to A, get my workout in, and B, maybe figure out how to build this business and put it in the forefront before my kids get up, right? Because when they're up, then it's like all hands on deck. And then I would do some follow-up activities after they went to bed, right? And they went to bed at that age, like at 7:30. So, as they grew up and those naps kind of subsided, things changed, and I had to kind of reconfigure my day, right? And as I mentioned yesterday, I added 2 kids to the mix. So we have 2 more children, and I went right back through that whole pregnant thing, nursing, 2 times over. So I had to really work through those seasons of life. I have to have business hours. I talk about getting up in the morning and doing my workout. And what I do before my workout is about a 20-minute window of follow-ups, catch up from the night before, and reaching out to people that have watched my stories, maybe answered my polls, just really connecting. I'm not out there pitching people right out of the gates on a business because I don't even know them yet. So I take that time to really get to know them. I spend time on their profile, and I message them and, hey, thanks for liking on my post, or I'm so glad you watched my story. Like, what brings you to Instagram? Like, I ask genuine questions that I actually care about, right? And then I find out they got a dog, and then we have something in common there, and I build on that because I genuinely want to build on friendships. I'm not looking to sling challenge packs and have numbers. Like, I'm not out to recruit hundreds of coaches a month. Some do. Boom, more power to them. That's not how I roll. I don't have the capacity to work in that regard, and nor do I want to, because I feel like I would lose touch with the personal side of why I want to build a business, right? So I actually have to be laser focused even now. So I get up early, I do those activities. I talked about it in the stories. And I have about an hour after my workout that I do the same thing. I talked about a list that I work from. You guys, every new coach that we work with, every superstar diamond, multiple 6-figure, 7-figure income earner, you guys, income disclaimer, it is not without hard work and effort of the independent Beachbody coaches that those incomes are produced, okay? They're not guaranteed, and it's not overnight. But this is an activity sheet that we do day in and day out. This is a week. I actually printed out a book, and on the back, you have... on the back of it, you've got a list of ways that you can figure out who you talk to. It's that simple, right? Like, I talk about being a product of the product. I do that on my stories every single day because that's part of my life. I don't say, hey, look at me, I'm drinking insert product, or hey, look at me, I'm, brand this. Like, I don't roll like that because I don't look at that stuff. It doesn't wow me, right? But I work from this list day in and day out, and this is exactly what I will teach you how to use if you're coming in learning this business, because this is the foundation of how we build our business. This is what keeps us on track so we can go about our day and do the things that we want to do, right? Because I said I'm also back in school, you guys, so I have to find time in my day to study. So this, showing how I'm a product of the product, clipping my workouts and putting them on my stories every day. People are interested in what workout you're doing. They ask questions. They keep watching. I connect, invite, and follow up, right? And there's a little budgeted time that you can use to kind of benchmark what that might take. And maybe you don't fill this whole thing out, your first couple of months of coaching because you're like, I'm not there yet. That's okay. Nobody's expecting you to. But it's a good baseline of what we should be doing, and then writing down on the back who you're talking to. So you guys, it's that simple. Like, these are the coaching activities, and this can take you maybe all of 20 minutes. You take a little section of it, 20 minutes in the morning, maybe 15 minutes while you're cooling down from your workout. Maybe if your babies are napping, you do a little block in there. And maybe at the end of the day, if you work full time, you do it after that. And that's like Sarah's jam. She's been talking about how she fits in little pockets, right? She messages people in the car. And both of us do that. Like, if I'm in the parking lot, I'll message a couple people through voice memo because it's efficient. And I like hearing other people's voice, and they can hear the energy and inflection in my voice. So a lot of you guys have probably heard me do that with you. But this is it, you guys. Like, literally, these are the very things that I do. I am sitting in my office right now, and this is where I sit at 4:40 a.m. for 20 minutes while I'm drinking my pre-workout and doing small little activities, connecting with people on Instagram, because that's where I spend a lot of my time now, following, responding to emails, any groups that I have that are getting set up, talking with my clients, right? And then later on in the day, today was the day I went to the gym because I teach 2 boot camps during the week, and I have childcare for those days. And then on the weekends, I go and teach 2 other classes as well. But that's what I wanted to do, because Beachbody became that vehicle to provide for me to be able to go and influence other people in a live environment. You guys, we're just social influencers. I'm influencing people to give a damn about themselves again and to fall in love with the process and want to be in like in love with themselves again instead of being insecure. It's not like, boom, you know, you become a coach and all of a sudden like you have all this massive confidence, but you know, like you just feel differently about yourself because you're plugged into a community that loves on you ridiculously, you know? So that's really kind of where the rubber meets the road, is tapping into something like that and letting people feel that and experience that. I shout out my coaches and my challengers all the time. So I let them see, this is what I'm doing. Everything that's on here, you guys, are activities. So I'm very transparent as to what my business is. When you see me talk about the business or see me talk about my workouts or being in the gym or studying, like that's part of my day. And Beachbody has been a tool, as cliche as it is, that has got me back into the gym and teaching in a live format, or has allowed me the ability to go back to school. And when I say allowed me, not like it gave me permission, but I wanted to dive deeper into the nutrition component, and tuition wasn't cheap for the school that I chose. So I had the means now to do that and not have to second guess it, right? But it's not without, income disclaimer, the hard work and effort that I put into my business over intensity or consistency over time to build it to where I want it to be. Some people just want to make enough to cover their Shakeology each month. That is awesome, and I am going to teach you how to do that out of the gates. I want everyone to make their money back, right? Some people just want to be able to have kind of a fun money pot. They want it for family vacations or to be able to go buy their favorite things at Target. They have debt up the yin yang, and so they're trying to go pay that down, and Beachbody's been a vehicle for it. It's a vehicle to do something more with your life. It just doesn't become who you are and doesn't replace anything in your life. It doesn't have to, unless you want it to replace your job, because that has happened. I've got a lot of coaches on my team that have fired their bosses, that have been able to retire from their jobs because it provided the means to do it. That's how cool it is, you guys. And it's because of doing these daily activities. It's connecting with each other. It's doing personal development, which we can elaborate more on, and just being a positive influence in this goddamn world, because it's easy to be a negative Nancy, and there's so many of them on there that I just pass right by. And I want to be the bright light on someone's feed that goes, I can't wait to see what Taryn's going to say. And I'm going to go watch her stories because she seems fun and she's just always full of good energy. You know what? I got down days and crappy days, but I don't verbal diarrhea on my socials about having a crappy day. You know, if there's something kind of like, hey, you know what? Tell me about this and why this happened. You know, I'll have a conversation, but I'm not negative all the time because I don't care to be around those people, and those aren't the people I'm attracting, right? So very transparent here. I've gone way over 3 minutes. I've gone over my time, but I wanted to make sure I could get all this information out to you guys. All these videos, there's one more I'm going to pop in tomorrow, which I need to figure out my timing. Work hours, you guys. My family comes first. So if I'm not if I'm not like, oh, it's 5 o'clock that I have to show up, and I don't, right? My business isn't like, it doesn't make me, you know, not a trustworthy coach. It's just like, you know what? Something in my family is more of a priority that I need to be there for. So tomorrow's a little more loosey-goosey day, so I might pop on in the morning. But all 3 videos, the one yesterday that's gone off the live feed now, will be up, and I'll have links to go watch it. And this one will be up for 24 hours. And then I'm talking about exactly what to do if you're ready to get enrolled, because myself and Sarah, we've got options for you, and we will break it down that is applicable to your budget. You find this is a fit for you. Again, we don't force anybody, and we are not going to trick you into thinking this is what you need to do. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out. I hope you have an amazing Monday. Drop your questions, message myself or Sarah if you have questions. If you're a coach and you're watching this, you guys invite people to see this and experience it if you're not ready to share and talk about it, because we're there for you. We got your back. We're a community. We're a sisterhood. We're buddies. We become besties. Like, we just love on each other enough that we're willing to do whatever it takes to help you be able to share it with your community, so you feel like you're not alone and you don't have to figure it out for yourself, because somebody already has. All right. Hi, Mandy. All right, everyone. I better run. My husband just got home, and I'm off to go do motherhood duties. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.